Hey, how's it going, folks? Welcome to the 2023 Tiffin Youth Football Tailgate Party here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. We are live here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Make sure you share the video, like, follow, and subscribe on all of our platforms, wherever you're watching this. Give us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Once again, we're live here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. We want to thank our sponsor tonight for allowing us to be here and for really picking this up with short notice.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't go into any details about how we got here, but we're just glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So I have a couple special guests joining me tonight on the program. We've got a couple from each team in Tiffin Youth Football. So first, we're starting out with the AmVets Browns head coach, Aaron Steyer, joining me on the program. Aaron, how we doing?
Good, man. Good to be here.
And then to my right, my direct right, the man, the myth, the legend, Luke Miller. How we doing, Luke?
Good.
Good. All right. So let's talk a little bit of football, guys.
Let's do it.
So we had a scrimmage day, right?
Yep, we had scrimmage day yesterday.
Ooh.
It was a fun day. We had
Those are always so fun.
I think we had like 8 to 10 teams come down, a few different Findlay teams, a few different Port Clinton teams that we got to rock around with, and we 2 Findlay teams and 2 Port Clinton teams we played. I think we held our own for sure. I think they understood what Tiffin Browns football is all about. Don't you, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. So you guys got a scrimmage day coming up too, right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
yesterday was like a league-wide scrimmage. Like I said, multiple teams came down. It was like 10-play sets of offense and defense, right? So this Sunday, all of us coaches had to get with an out-of-league team and bring them in. And it's going to be more of like a preview setting for high school, you know, that Friday night before. And refs, game style type situation. We're bringing in the Fremont Warriors. So
What?
see if we can really finish off that sweep, if you know what I'm saying.
Right? So this is about as big as it gets for some of these kids, you know?
Yeah.
Up until this point, a lot of organized sports really don't feel like youth football does. I mean, you play youth baseball, everybody does youth basketball, that kind of stuff. It's fun, but there's a different intensity that's around youth football.
Yeah.
Just talk about that as a coach, trying to temper your intensity a little bit, because I know from experience, it's really hard. It's so hard to kind of keep an even keel down there. You got a lot of kids that are looking up to you, man.
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
So now I'm in year 4. The first 2-3 years, it was definitely a little bit of a struggle to really understand where these kids were at in their minds. You know what I mean? And not everyone's got the best home life. Not everyone's having the most fun at home, you know? So that's their time to let things out. And you really, when you look at through that perspective, it really helps you kind of tone things down a little bit and actually be real with them. So
it's the one time a day that they look forward to the most.
Exactly.
I feel like.
Exactly.
And you got to do your job to make it fun for them.
Yep.
So talk about the Browns this year, man. I mean, you're taking over. It's your first year as head coach,
Yep,
right?
first year as head coach.
Now, you've been an assistant on the team for
past 3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
So this is kind of a new role for you. Talk about stepping into those shoes.
Yeah, so I was the JV coach 3 years ago. Then I took the varsity defense coordinator job and the varsity offense coordinator job last year. So I've kind of touched it all. The opening came. I got 2 years down there with my son, so I figured why not put it in good hands. The coaches before me are why things are going well and why I have a good routine. Like Nate Houck from 3-4 years ago, that dude the standard is the standard.
That's
Don't
right.
mind my Mike Tomlinism, but
No,
the standard is the standard with Nate Houck, and I learned a lot from him on how to teach these kids some football. So I would say a lot had to do with him. And then last year with Tim Hassinger, we had some growing pains throughout the year. Nothing against him. It was just sometimes the roster isn't what you had the year before, you know?
Yeah.
But he did so good with keeping his cool and letting the kids have fun still. So a little bit from each of those coaches and implementing it into my thing really helps take over this head coach role.
All right. So, Luke, let's talk some football, buddy. All right. What position do you play?
I play quarterback.
You play quarterback? All right. What grade you in?
Going into I'm in 6th.
You're in 6th grade. Yeah, you've already went to school, so now you're not going into. You're in 6th grade. It's in it. So, how long you been a quarterback?
In JV, I was quarterback for my first year in JV, and then last year I was a wide receiver, and then I'm back to quarterback.
Okay. All right. I like that. So, talk about just mental-wise. Like, what kind of toughness does it take to play quarterback?
I mean, you need to be a leader.
That's
Yes.
right. Absolutely. What kind of a leader are you? Do you think you're a strong leader? Do you like to yell at your guys and get them inspired, or you just like a lead by example, like follow me?
I like to get them inspired and
That's right.
little bit of both. He touches both bases. He knows how to get on them too. He knows how to get on them, but he also is a guy that leads with his play as well.
I love it. I love it. All right, so who's first team on the schedule this year?
First team on the schedule, I believe, would be the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Chiefs,
Yep.
defending champs.
Yep, switching it up because it was Browns-Eagles week 1 for the last decade, I think.
Yeah, I know from experience.
So
But this is a big game for you guys.
Absolutely.
Defending champs, a way to kind of set the tone for the season.
Mm-hmm.
What's the mentality like throughout the entire offseason so far to get to this point? What do you think you guys are preaching the most right now?
It's discipline. Discipline's been a big thing, and keeping. I learned this from Judd Lutz, our varsity coach here at Tiffin, Columbia, and it's tempo. That practice tempo, keeping that going. It just translates into games so well. You're in shape when you keep them reps going. You're not jogging in between drills. You keep it. It's tempo. Tempo is a big thing, and it translates into the game. That's the best.
Faster practice means more reps.
Exactly.
Right? So, Luke, talk about you. This is your 6th grade year, so this is your last year in youth football. What are you looking forward to the most this year?
To lead my team to try to go to the championship. And
This kid, he's been coached up already. I mean, he knows exactly what to say. He sounds like a quarterback already.
He's one of the only kids remaining on the team that I've actually had for all 4 years. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I remember you from my coaching days. My last year, you were in 4th grade. And all I remember about you, you had the biggest smile out of anybody on that field, and you were constantly smiling. You'd be running drills, and I'd see this kid smiling. Everybody else is, and this kid's,
Give me more, man. Give me more.
having fun. Where's that come from, man? Are you just like a happy-go-lucky guy?
yeah,
Yeah. Where's that come from? Where do you think you get that from? Mom, dad?
I don't know, just playing around with my friends and having fun.
I like it. I like it. So, you got any bulletin board material for the Chiefs? What you got? You got any trash talk?
Be smart.
You're a quarterback. You ain't got nothing. You know better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No fuel for the fire for them. So, anything you want to say here before I let you guys go? You want to talk to, give a shout out to anybody out there?
Make sure you like and subscribe to him. He's
Listen to this guy.
Dude, I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Let's talk about your hat, man. Big Sticks. You play baseball too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You won him the championship this year.
He had to wear the hat.
Yep.
According to you, he's like he's got to wear the hat on the broadcast. So, what's the deal with the hat? Is it just a championship luck? You got to wear it.
I just always wear a hat usually. I don't know.
like it. So do I.
That's the
Usually you
go-to.
won't see me without one.
No, me either. Going too bald for that.
Yeah, it's about time to cover up. You know, that's how it goes. All right, buddy. Well, hey, you can find this on YouTube when you get home. And I'll tell you what, why don't you take a couple of these with you, some stickers here. Coach, a couple
Thank
for
you.
you there.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys want to say before I let you go?
No, I'm just looking forward to a good season of football.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun season, I
Yes.
can tell.
I'm ecstatic.
A lot of good teams out there.
Yeah.
And just one more scrimmage left?
One more scrimmage left, and then Labor Day, and then as of now, it's scheduled as an in-league scrimmage, and then we go to week 1.
Oh.
We'll see how it pans out.
Okay. All right. So excited for the season to start.
Yeah.
Tiffin Youth Football, the AmVets Browns
Yes, sir.
representing here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We're going to take a quick pause so we can get our next coach on. I think I've got Jason Fox, Eagles head coach, coming on next. So once again, Aaron Steyer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Luke Miller, thank you, young man. I appreciate your time, buddy.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too, buddy. All right, we'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, and we're back here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. We have our next special guest joining us on the program. First, all the way to my right, Eagles head coach Jason Fox. Doing pretty good, man.
Good.
And then to my direct right, Eagles quarterback.
A little bit, yeah.
We'll just say ball carrier. How about that? Eagles ball carrier Blake Depinet here joining us on the program. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So let's talk football. We just talked about scrimmage day. I want to get your perspective. How do you think you guys did scrimmage day?
Yeah, so I thought scrimmage day was good for us. I mean, it was definitely a test, and that was what we needed. Sometimes in this league we don't have enough opportunity to be able to go against kids our own size, kids our own age, stuff like that. So to be able to go and have the opportunity to do that gives you a real good, vision, I guess, of what, you are as a team.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was real good for us. We learned a lot, like I suppose any other team. We had some positives and then we had some negatives. We leave the negatives on the field and we focus on the positives.
That's right. And you fix what you can fix, and then what you can't, you just move forward, man. At this point in the season, there's no time. You just got to keep going.
Absolutely.
So you guys are a few weeks away from the start of the season, but you still got a lot of work to do between now and then. Another scrimmage coming up, right?
Yep.
Another in-league scrimmage, or is this no, if I remember correctly, this is where you guys get to recruit a team from the area to come scrimmage you guys, right?
Yep. So so it's a non-league scrimmage.
Okay.
And we are actually going to Port Clinton. It's going to be a three-way scrimmage between us, Port Clinton, and Norwalk.
Nice. That'll be a fun day.
It will definitely be a good time.
So talk about these scrimmages, because when I was a coach, it was just varsity. Is that what it is still?
Yes.
And when I say varsity, I mean 5th and 6th grade, because you're talking about JV is the 3rd and 4th grade.
That's correct.
And they play separate from the varsity, which are 5th and 6th grade.
Yep.
So that way you're not having 3rd and 4th graders running out there against 5th and 6th graders banging heads. It's the weight is distributed evenly. There's weight restrictions and all that. But the scrimmages are just a varsity only thing, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so what do you think you guys gain the most from doing these scrimmages?
Oh, I mean, I think that we gain a lot of experience.
Yeah.
It's the experience part of it, that gives you the opportunity. We get to go out there and we get to bang heads with, some of the best teams around us, and it just gives us a lot of good experience. And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
The more times that your kid can be on the field and be out there and be able to focus on football and the fundamentals and do the things that we're trying to teach you, the more times they have the opportunity to do that, the better off they're going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're going into these scrimmages, like obviously you said you want to focus on the positives afterwards and try to minimize the negatives. But when you go into these scrimmages, what are you focusing on? What do you want to gain from this? Do you want to see who you're trying to find skill position players? Are you trying to figure out who your best players are? Or is this more of we're trying to figure out if these players know the scheme or if they know their plays or that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no. So I mean, I feel very, very comfortable that our team, they know our scheme, they know our plays. There's no questioning that. And so when we go into these scrimmages, it's pretty much just personnel, making sure we have the right personnel where we want them. Where sometimes you got to switch some things up every now and again. Maybe you put somebody in a spot and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So you got to put somebody else there, and so it's just seeing it.
Yeah.
When you're there and you get to see it, that's where the opportunity lies.
That's right. When you talk about switching things up, you've got a little bit different coaching staff this year.
Yep.
You and Jeff Fiesel are the only returning coaches that I recognized when I was looking at the coaching staff this year.
Yep.
Talk about your new faces you got joining the staff this year.
Yeah, so we got Casey Punyon.
Okay.
Yep. He actually coached Tiffin youth football. I don't remember the years, but he coached for 3 years, was a defensive coordinator, I believe, for the Chiefs.
Nice.
And I got Don Arter, which we drafted his kid as a 3rd grader. He's been a great asset to us. I mean, he's just done everything that we've asked him to do. Very willing, very helpful.
Yeah.
And then we got Chip Vendetti, which we also drafted his kid. He's also a 3rd grader. He's our JV head coach this season. And, he's really just taking the ball and ran with it. He's
nice.
Really doing a great job.
Nice. All right, Blake, let's talk some football here, buddy. So you this is your 6th grade year, right?
Yeah.
So last year you learned a lot on varsity.
Yeah.
And I think this year, from what I understand, from what I'm hearing, it's starting to translate to the field because you're really kind of – the light bulb seems to have clicked. The switch is flipped for you, man. Talk about what's the difference between last year and this year. What do you – like what's coming naturally for you this year?
I can run better, faster, and can throw. Last year I could not throw that good.
You couldn't throw that good? Now, what did you work on that in the off season?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Just throwing the ball around to your brothers and sisters in the backyard? Yeah? That's pretty cool. So what are some of the things that you want to do this year? Like, obviously, win games, that's one of the things. But what do you want to get out of this season?
Run the ball, get some touchdowns.
There we go. Got to get some tutties this year. I like it. You got a celebration dance already worked up? No? You haven't been working on the celebration
dance?
We're going to have to work on that. Little Coach Dapp there on the side.
Apparently we've been working on that in practice.
Well, there's more important things to work on in practice, trust me. So, Blake, this is your 6th grade year. And who's the first team you guys got to face this year?
I forget.
First team on the schedule, because I just heard the Browns play the Chiefs, so that means you guys play the Bengals?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's a little bit different than years past. Obviously, Eagles start out with the Browns. Did you hear that? Yeah, I heard it. Caught myself. Obviously, the Eagles started out with the Browns for many years before, but this year starting out with the Bengals. Any different preparation for you as a player, or do you just go into it like, I'm not worried about who we're playing, I just worry about my job?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So you seem like you're ready. You seem like you're locked in. You're like, all right, we're done with the scrimmages. Let's lace them up. Let's play some football, right?
Yeah.
What's your most favorite part about playing the game?
Just running the ball, getting to make some tackles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know when I coached, you were one of the best tacklers on the team. Do you think some of that comes from wrestling?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I always say the best football players are wrestlers. And the best wrestlers are football players. That's just how it works.
That's why I wrestled.
That's right. All right, Blake, anything else you want to talk about here?
Nothing really.
No? Do you want to give any shout-outs to anybody? You want to say hi to anybody out there?
All my coaches.
Okay.
Thank you for helping me get better.
I like that. That's quarterback talk right there, man.
I'll tell you what,
Blake's leader.
Blake's been a real leader of the team. As a matter of fact, he was just nominated captain, one of the captains of the team today.
Nice. That's awesome.
Blake's probably one of the most improved players that I have seen, come up through the league.
Sometimes
when he first started, there was a bunch of big kids kind of ahead of him, so he kind of got thrown in some roles that maybe wasn't best suitable for him, but he never blanked, never complained. He just played where we put him.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, he came in for this season ready to go, and he turned heads from the start.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first year that I was a coach, when he was on JV, or the first year he was on the team as a JV kid, and I remember we had to put him on the line, and I thought, man, this is such a waste of this kid's talent because he's so good, but he was such a great blocker and such a great defensive lineman that it was like, well, it's not really a waste because we need that player.
Yep.
So, but I'm glad to see that you're getting a chance to shine at some other positions. You don't just got to sit down there and bang heads with the big guys. Getting a chance to run the ball a little bit. Does that make you happy?
Yeah.
All right, nice.
He's versatile.
I see that. Very versatile. All right, Blake, any other shout-outs other than coaches? Maybe you want to say hi to mom or brothers, sisters?
My mom, my 3 sisters.
Sisters, no brothers, just sisters. Anything else? Is that it, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, I got something for you. How about you take these home with you? Some stickers for you, and I got some stickers for Coach here.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time tonight, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right?
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's going to do it. We're going to come back with a little bit more. I think we got 2 more guests, 2 more coaches coming on with us.
Yep.
We got the Chiefs coach and the Bengals coach. I don't know who's coming on next, but we're going to take a step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with more of the Tiffin Youth Football Tailgate Party live here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back with more of the Tiffin Youth Football Tailgate Party live here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Nate Mullins, I've got a couple more guests joining me on the program. We have Matt Travis.
Yes.
All the way on the left, Bengals head coach this year, right?
No.
No?
No, I'm assistant.
Assistant coach. You've been an assistant down there for a little while. Been coaching
Yes.
for what, 3 years?
3 years.
3 years? Nice. Because your first year as a coach was my last year as a coach. Yeah. And then we have Zane Travis here joining us on the program. I didn't mess that up, did I?
No.
Nice. All right. I wrote them down because if I write it down, then I won't forget. So, well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming on with us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Packed house here. Everybody joining in and celebrating the fun here. We're raising some funds for Tiffin Youth Football. Now, Matt, Bengals this year, you guys just got done with your first scrimmage, right?
Yes.
That was yesterday.
Yes.
How you guys looking this year?
We're looking decent.
Okay.
We got a defense. Team's real small. A lot of kids, they hear the Bengals name and they don't show up to play with us. So
I don't like hearing that, man.
we got about 13 kids on our roster for our varsity. And
Okay.
I think we might have 8 for JV.
Okay.
So yeah.
And you guys are done taking kids now.
Yes.
The deadline's been crossed. You got what you got.
Yes, we got what we got.
And I'll tell you, in years past, Bengals have been a feisty team, man. You guys are always tough. It doesn't matter who you play against. You play everybody tough. I remember my second to last year as a coach, both the games against the Bengals were some of the toughest games that we had to play. Talk about toughness and what it means to, as a coach, to try to instill that into your players.
Man, it's all of our kids we got this year. They got some dog in them.
Nice.
And that's what we missed the last few years. I mean, we got little Kaiser. He's a headhunter. He's only about 68 pounds, and he'll just lay people out.
68-pound missile.
Missile. That's what he is. We got little Scally. He's a little missile, too. We got Ryder. Yeah, we're looking pretty decent for this year.
Nice.
As long as we could get our O-line to start blocking.
That's key. It always is key. The trenches is where you win games, man.
And that's our trouble.
Because you can't move the ball if you can't move forward, you know?
We're small, but,
Yeah.
but we're really fast this year. So
It's all about leverage when you're small. Low man wins.
yeah,
That's the game
like
of
yesterday
football.
when we did a scrimmage. The first team we played was Finley Blue, I think. Those kids were monsters. Half their line was like 200 pounds, and our best lineman is maybe 140. So yeah, it was a struggle, but we ended up beating them. So
It's a mindset. It really is. It comes down to a mindset because it's not always the biggest man wins.
no, it ain't.
It's the lowest man wins. It's the man with the most heart, the most determination. That's who's going to win. One-on-one battles in football, it's a team effort, obviously, but it comes down to that one-on-one matchup most of the time. And who's got it? You know, who's got that heart? Zane, you got it?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So you guys got another scrimmage coming up, right?
Yes,
This one's a non-league scrimmage.
yes.
Who do you guys scrimmaging? You know yet?
We are actually going to Port Clinton this Sunday again
Nice.
with the Eagles.
Okay.
And we're going against Port Clinton and Norwalk.
Nice. Yeah, I just talked to Coach Fox about that. He was pretty excited about that. So what's the point of emphasis when you go into these scrimmages? What are you trying to really hammer home the most? Or what are you trying to learn the most from these scrimmages, I guess?
Just see what we got on offense. Our defense will speak for itself.
Nice.
We're trying to find linemen that can hold a block for more than 3 seconds, so the quarterback don't get smashed.
Most NFL teams are looking for that right now, too.
I know, right?
But, Zane, let's talk some football, buddy. What position you play?
Quarterback.
Quarterback. All right, I should have known. He's got that poise, that moxie already. So, how long you been a quarterback?
3 years.
All 3 years quarterback?
Yeah.
No,
Nice.
my first year I was a center.
You were the center first
Yeah.
year? But you played some quarterback too, probably, right?
No.
No? Okay. Well, either way, quarterback for the last 2 years, what goes into being a quarterback? What do you think is the most important quality for a quarterback to have? You think he's got to be a good leader?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a good leader?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think? What kind of a leader do you think you are? Are you more of like a get your guys excited, get them motivated, or are you more like a watch me, this is how I do, and I want you to do this, like follow follow my lead. Are you one of those kind of
strong one, like motivator?
motivator? Okay, I like that. You know, all right, I'm gonna tell you this much right now from experience. The best teams, the motivation doesn't come from the coaches. It comes from the players. The players are the best teams have the motivators within the team. The coaches don't even have to motivate them because the players are the ones that are like, hey, we got to be accountable. And they're holding each other accountable. Those are the best teams. So if you want to be successful, it's got to come from within, and that's where it's got to start with you, man. You're the quarterback. You're the tone setter. You're the leader. Talk about you. What do you think do you feel any pressure as a player when you're the quarterback?
No.
No? I like it. Nerves of steel, man. Ice in his veins. What do you like the most about football?
Just having fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You just having fun. I love it. Is this like your favorite sport to play?
Yes.
Yeah? And tackle football obviously is the best. You know, obviously. Flag football's fun, but tackle football is the best, right?
Yes.
Now, what does it mean to you to be able to play for the Tiffin Youth Football and for Bengals?
It means a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It should mean a lot, man, because it's a privilege to be able to play this game. It really is. And for everybody that puts everything into this, I know that everybody's rooting for you, you know? Not just you, but everybody, you know? Like, everybody's in this together, whether you're from a different team or not. We're all part of the same family in Tiffin Youth Football. So when it comes down to it, man, you just got to be tough mentally, you know? When you get in these situations, you get in those game situations as a quarterback, you got to be mentally tough, you know?
Yeah.
All right? Anything else you want to say here tonight, man? You got any shout-outs you want to give?
To my mom, my dad,
Okay.
and the players on my team.
I like it. Players, mom and dad, that's a leader right there. So, anything else? Any bulletin board material for the first team you guys got to play? Who you got to play first?
Eagles.
Eagles? What do you got to say to the Eagles?
We're coming for you.
Ooh, coming for you, Eagles.
We're going to break that losing streak this year.
I like it. All right, confidence is key, man. Coach, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it, bud.
Is that it?
Yep.
Nice. Thank you so much for your
Thanks for
time.
having us.
Zane, Matt, appreciate you guys. Hey, don't go anywhere. Hang on just a second. Got something for each of you here. Take these with you. A couple of new stickers we just came out with. Stick them on whatever you like. Appreciate you guys coming on with us. Thank you once again. Zane Travis, Matt Travis
Thanks for having us.
from the Tiffin Bengals. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We're going to take a step aside. Quick timeout. We'll come back with the Chiefs head coach, and then we'll wrap things up here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Once again, you're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, and we're back here with the Tiffin Youth Football Tailgate Night here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. Once again, we are joined live by another coach from Tiffin Youth Football, this time a very familiar face for me, Kyle Musa. How we doing, Kyle?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, Nate?
Doing wonderful, man.
Great.
And then we have, let me see, Stran Schimmel. Did I get that right?
You got
Yep.
it.
Nice.
You got it.
Hey, thanks for coming on with me, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, so Chiefs football defending champs.
Wow.
How's that sound?
That's nice considering the first 9 years in the league, I don't think I won 7 games total.
Didn't that feel good last year?
That felt wonderful. That felt wonderful.
I rooted for you guys. I obviously, as an Eagles coach, always want my Eagles to win, you know. But when I went down there last year at the beginning of the year, you could tell. You could just tell. Like Jaron and all them kids on that team, it felt like they were locked in from day one. Now talk about coming from that. Now this season, there's been some change.
There's
Coach
been
Boland's not here anymore.
Coach Boland is gone. The head coach this year is a gentleman by the name of Ron. My mind is going blank.
Oh, it's all right. It happens to me on these things all the time, man.
Ron's taking over head coach this year. They brought me in. I had decided to retire.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work. That doesn't last very long with you.
No, it didn't work too well. So they asked me to come back and help Ron, kind of get acclimated to Tiffin Youth football, and kind of the way we run things.
Yeah.
So I'm down there to help him. Things are doing really well. We have another coach, Eric, over here. I'm sure you know Eric very well, and got a couple more coaches that we're still working on getting, but. We're a little bit behind the 8 ball this year. We lost a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball.
Would you have 12 sixth graders last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
12 sixth graders.
That's a strong class. That's the magic number, 12 or above for sixth graders, and you can kind of dial it in that year, you know. But, yeah, talk about the first scrimmage. You guys have already been through that first scrimmage. Talk about where you guys are at now coming out of that scrimmage going into these next couple weeks.
Well, in all honesty, we're farther ahead than I thought we were going to be. We returned, our team is really only returning 4 people, and that's our linemen, 4 linemen. So that's a benefit, having experience up front, of course. But yeah, we're a little farther ahead than I thought we were going to be. We have some work to do on blocking and, you know, the footwork and everything that goes with it. But
to be expected.
We did fairly well. I mean, you could say we won all 3 of our scrimmages yesterday. I don't know if it's necessarily a win. I don't count it as a win. I look more of it as it's a test. Tell us where we are, what we need to do, and we're just about there. We're probably going to spend another week and a half on some blocking and really tackling.
Yeah.
I've got about 4 or 5 kids who can really tackle, and the rest of them are a little bit skittish yet. First-year players, not Strand here. He, in the course of 3 games yesterday, he accounted for 12 sacks.
Michael Strahan over here instead of Strand.
Yeah,
Call him Strahan.
Michael Straystrand.
Michael Straystrand, there you go. Thanks to his mom over there, she gave me the nickname Stranimal, and that's what I stick with.
I love it. I love it. So, Strand, let's talk a little bit of football here, buddy. What position do you play?
Offensive guard and defensive end.
Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. My man is down in the trenches doing the dirty work. Give it up for the big guys, man. I mean, I had a couple of offensive guys here, a couple of quarterbacks. I had a ball carrier. Now I got the line, and I love the grittiness of the line. That's where I played. So talk about the mental toughness it takes to play defensive line and offensive line.
You just gotta have good footwork and just be ready.
So like when you're going up against one of your friends and he's on the other team, what do you got to do mentally to get ready for that? Like, obviously, you don't want to hurt him, but you want to beat him, right? What goes through your mind when you're playing against a friend of yours?
Just because they're one of your friends, off the field they're your friend, but on the field they're your enemy.
That's right. Once you get inside those lines, all bets are off, buddy. We're done. We're not friends now. But when the time's up, hey, double zeros, now we're buddies again. Hey, let's go hang out, right? I know exactly how that works, trust me.
Strand here at a young age is a very accomplished wrestler out of Lakota, too. So
Lakota guy. I like that.
I know at least 2 age group state championships at his age. Is
Really?
there a third? Is there a third, or is only 2 the state champions?
Two-time state champ? So I love wrestlers. I'll tell you that much right now. We were just talking about that earlier. Blake Depinette's also a wrestler as well. And his sister's a really good wrestler at Seneca East. And I watched him wrestle a couple times. My boy's a wrestler, so I have an appreciation for wrestlers. I always say the best football players are wrestlers. The best wrestlers are football players, right?
Absolutely.
That's just the way it goes. It goes hand in hand. Those sports really go well together. Talk about what do you think translates the best from wrestling to football? What do you think is the skill that you can take from wrestling and say, I know I can use this in football?
Good footwork.
Yeah.
Be patient about everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on defense, obviously, single leg, double leg takedowns. I mean, that helps translate to the field when you want to tackle somebody. You're not skittish. You don't shy away from contact. That's why Coach mentioned you. He called you out right away. He says, well, then it's definitely not Strand. He's out there just playing with his hair on fire. Of course you are, because you're a wrestler, and those guys just get after it. It's just something different about wrestlers. I don't know. But let's talk about this season, all right? First game of the year. Who you guys got?
Who was it?
Browns.
Browns. Wow. Okay, so you think the Browns are going to have – you think the Browns are coming for you guys, obviously? Defending champs. You guys going to have the target on your back?
Yeah.
What do you got to do going into these games, having that extra – is there any extra pressure on you guys for these games?
Just our offensive line needs to work on tackling and putting players on their butt.
Okay, nice. And that's your unit. You talk about you had 4 returning starters. So if you guys got that much experience coming back, it should help with some of the inexperience of the other positions, because at least then you'll give your quarterback a little bit of time, hopefully. If these guys can figure out how to block, you guys should be successful this year.
Yeah.
So what do you like the most about football?
Tackling people, putting them on their butt.
Yeah.
He's
Spoken like a true wrestler right there. So is football your favorite sport?
Football and wrestling are
They're like 1A and 1B. I like that. That's the way it should be, though. You can't have one favorite sport, especially when you're a 2-time state champion. You can't say football is your favorite sport because you're a wrestler. So good luck this season, Strand. Any shout-outs you want to give? Anybody you want to talk? Just give a shout-out right now, too.
I want to shout out Quentin and Jackson.
He's giving you a shout-out.
And Jackson.
And Jackson.
I appreciate you guys helping me a lot.
There you go. I like that. All right, Coach, any shout-outs here? Anything you want to say before we let you guys go?
Hey, I don't have any specific shout-outs. Just I want to thank you for putting your time and effort into letting people know what Tiffin Youth Football is all about. This
need to know.
This is a great tradition that a lot of people don't understand. Is completely free. It's been free for 43 years now.
I think it's almost 50 now.
It's almost 50.
Because it was 47 one of my last years in the league, and I want to say it's 50 now.
Yeah.
It's got to be closing in on 50 years.
Nobody has ever paid a dime to play in this league, and it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for kids. Boys, girls alike. Come on down. Watch what we do. If you're not sure what Tiffin Youth Football is all about, come down and watch us and see what we're doing.
Seriously, I encourage all parents, even if you're against the idea of tackle football and you're like, oh, it's so violent, I could never see my little kid playing tackle football, come down and watch a couple games. You'll get a different perspective. The game is played safe. It's taught safe from the floor up. That's the first in the fundamental core of teachings in youth football is safety. It's always safety first when it comes to youth football, and the coaching methods, the training methods that they use. It's meant to keep these kids safe. And if you come down there and watch, you'll be surprised that it's not quite as violent as you think it is. These kids are just out here having fun. I mean, I was a coach for 4 years, and the only major injury I ever saw was my son broke his collarbone. These kids are just having a blast, and you need to come down and check it out. Their season starts, September 17th?
September 17th is our first game.
Yeah, so there we go. Come down, check them out. They play all their games at the Tiffin Youth Football Field, which is located across from the YMCA. If you, those two softball fields, if you just keep driving back, you'll see the goalposts that are up there down the field. There's two football fields down there. That's where they play all their games. All on Sundays?
All on Sundays.
All starting at noon, and then the next game starts at 2 o'clock. So I encourage you guys to come out and join Tiffin Youth Football and go see what it's all about, because I'm telling you, it's free to play. It's been that way for 50 years, and as long as I'm around, I'm trying to keep it that way. And we'll keep doing stuff like this to make sure that these kids never have to pay a dime to play this sport, because it's a sport I love.
Oh.
And I want as many kids to play it as possible.
You know, my son just graduated high school this past year, and I'm still coaching now. This is going on my 11th year. This is a wonderful program.
Yeah.
Just getting the time to spend with these kids.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Coach. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Strand. Appreciate your time, buddy.
You too.
Absolutely. Once again, this has been the Tiffin Youth Football tailgate party here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant on Heart of Ohio Sports. I do want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Lisette Torres and the great staff here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant for putting this all together on short notice. Like I said, I won't go into details on why, but we are very thankful for everything that they did to provide this for us and for Tiffin Youth Football. And we are more than happy to put the message out there for you guys. Once again, folks, share the video. If you've made it this far, like, follow, subscribe, but most importantly, share this video. Spread the message about Tiffin Youth Football. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I want to thank the wizard, Greg Kinn, for putting everything together. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. Thanks to all of our guests, Aaron Steyer, Matt Travis, Jason Fox, Kyle Musa, and then we had some players from each of those teams as well. I don't want to butcher any names, so I'm not going to try to go back through and remember in the Rolodex, but thank you to everyone who had a part in today. Once again, you've been watching the Tiffin Youth Football tailgate party here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a great night.